Good evening, folks. It's Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, it's the Hump Day News Mix.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
I am Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, a quick Hump Day News Mix. Talk about the redistricting meeting that occurred tonight, as well as trouble with the YPD. What's going on over at the Yonkers Police Department? Good evening, folks. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, it's the Hump Day News Mix. I'm going to go over the meeting that occurred this evening. There were several things that were discussed tonight, but specifically the redistricting portion of the meeting. There were two speakers, one of them being Reverend Margaret Coleman, who, if you don't know by now, is running for mayor. She is the wife of Frank Coleman, the president of the NAACP, and she's also a member of the NAACP. Her campaign manager is Keisha Skipper, vice president of the NAACP. And so, she got some support when she announced. She went and spoke. She's been very vocal very recently. Even before announcing, she was speaking up at the extension meeting. And so she's been coming out and talking and, voicing concerns for the people of the city of Yonkers as a whole, specifically in regards to the process, the speed, how fast this process is going, and also whether, the individuals here, residents here in the city of Yonkers, were informed. Were they properly informed? Were they given enough time to be informed and allow their voices to be heard? And like many of us believe, this should be an issue that the city of Yonkers, the residents, should be more involved in. They should have done more town hall meetings. Maybe each district member could have held individual town hall meetings in their districts to say, hey, there's a possibility that I may not be your council member anymore, as in the case with Gramerton Hills, the folks there who no longer have Moranti, right? And so this is what's going down. And so if you're concerned about it, if you have any questions, here's some literature. Ask me any questions, but then we're also going to be having some public hearings. We're going to be doing this, that, and the third. That's the way to do it, right? That's the proper way. I mean, that's, to me, common sense, right? But they say common sense is not so common. I want to play Margaret Coleman. She went up and spoke. There were two speakers again, Margaret Coleman, and a gentleman by the name of John Kumar. Very interesting. I'll talk about that when
John Kumar Jr.
Good evening. I just want to say, please don't read into the lack of attendance tonight. I'm hoping that you won't, and that you are aware that the residents of Yonkers are fully concerned about these maps, whether they're Democrats or Republicans. And so I just want to say this to the council. I would ask, as you move forward to adopt the maps, that you would just provide common courtesy for us to know the timeline of everything from Westchester to the state of New York. I think those are some of the components or some of the intricacies that the public are not aware of. We've heard the urgency from Westchester County, why they need them, but however, there is still lack of information as it concerns what is the process moving forward as they leave Westchester County, then where? What is the timeline that New York State would need those to have? So I respect the process and appreciate that many things were provided for us, but I think duplicity is necessary, that we understand the full extent of what the process looks like. Have a good evening.
And that is Reverend Margaret Coleman, candidate for mayor, Democratic candidate for mayor, one of the Democratic candidates for mayor, another one being Corazon Pineda, Isaac, and Prince Robinson. 3. It's 3, right? Anyway, so she's again back. The first thing she says, I like what she says, don't let the lack of attendance fool you. That there are many people concerned. They're not informed. We need to understand this process thoroughly. Then she understands that the county has a deadline that the city has to submit it by. But what is the process when it comes to submitting it to the state? What is their deadline? I mean, what is the entire process? Is there any loopholes or options that the city council members can exercise in order to maybe delay the process a bit so people can be properly informed, and maybe they can have a proper due process, right? And I'm very surprised actually that it's even been allowed to go this long. So this must be something that is not as important to them as the term extension, right? Extending the term limits for Mayor Spano to run again was very important. That was a must. That was a super, super duper must. This here, we could tweak it a little bit. We can talk about it a little bit. We have some leeway here to make it believe like we really are caring about what the people are saying. So, we're going to go ahead and extend it and give a couple more hearings. The city council president looked very serious. She looked very professional. Seems like she's trying a bit more now. She's also, for the people, it seems like she's willing to do more hearings and wait and hold off on the vote. However, on February 10th, they will have the final public hearing, at which point they will decide what the new district's maps will be. So make sure, if you truly are concerned and you didn't make it to tonight's meeting, that you are at the meeting on February 10th. I have to get the time. I forgot the time. But yeah, so make sure, because again, she, Margaret Coleman says, don't let the lack of attendance fool you. All right. And so I would have played the next guy. And I get it. Look, and really quick, I think that, at this point, a lot of people are informed. Sure, there's probably a lot more that are not informed. But how much really are they going to, listen to the people? Like, how much are input from the people are they really going to consider? I mean, certain areas, certain groups of individuals, they might kind of bend a bit, although not all the way, as the case. And I go back to Gramerton Hills, where they put them back together in one district. However, they're still in a new district, so they still have a new council member, and that council member is Mike Breen. So they were downgraded. Right. And that sucks. It always sucks to be downgraded. Right. We always go for the upgrade, not the downgrade. And the council members downgraded you guys, even though they put you together. Right. If I was on the half with John Rubo, they didn't give you any good options. Really. It sucks, man. You know what? Listen, the good thing about being in District 5 is that there is an election this year, and you can vote for someone else, someone that's a lot better, a lot stronger of a council person. So there you go. It's short term. So if they do end up, finalizing the district map with you guys in the 5th, no longer having Moranti, again, the good thing is you can vote for a new council member this year. And a lot of people want it. So go ahead. I'll support you guys all the way, even though I'm not in your district, but I will all the way. Not anymore, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? I don't care. I'm in all of Yonkers. That's Friday at 11. So Friday at 11 is the meeting. So if you are someone that is concerned and wants to say something before they actually finalize it, I suggest you attend there. But what sucks is that it's at 11 a.m. on a Friday. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to be at work, right? So if you want, what I'll do is send me what you guys want to say. I'll read it, and I'll tell them, listen, I got a few people, I got to read their messages, right? And I'll go there and I'll read it. Although I do have my 11:30 Zoom meeting. That's okay. I can reschedule that. Bellamy is trying after she allowed grown men to heckle children that were brave enough to come up to the podium. After she decided to owe the mayor her words, so she brought legislation to continue the tyranny. So what about the Hatch Act? Should she even be a politician? She doesn't want to be a politician. Again, remember, that's something that, she did because, they thought that, it'd be good to get Mike Cater out. It worked. She's a black female against Mike Cater. Then they attacked him. They did all that. She's in there. But ultimately, she has her eyes on the prize, and that is being a city court judge. but what real law experience, or being an attorney, no experience in the courtroom or anything like that, and then you just go to being a city court judge. I mean, again, she's worked for Macy before becoming city council president. Still works for Macy, but is now also city council president, and hasn't done a whole lot for Black people. Let's just keep it honest. And I'm going to get to something here in a minute after I let John speak that they try to do today that is just ridiculous. And it's just pandering to Black folks. Okay, that's all it is. And I'll play in a second. But let's listen to John Kumar.
John Kamal Jr.
Yeah, good evening. My name is John Kamal. I very well respect this body. I participate in the NAACP, and I'm not here speaking on their behalf, but as a citizen, as well as, as...
Can you please speak into the mic so we can hear you?
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm here, to get extra information regarding to the redistricting. I have read about it, I have heard about it, but I have no clear specification as to, how it's being done. And I'm not here just for myself. I'm also part of NAACP, even though I'm not here to represent them, but I feel like, it's an important issue. And as well as what you were just saying, we need more.
He messed up. So the reason why I show that is because it seems like this was staged, right? And I'm laughing because it's like kind of what, all the Spano people did, right? The administration got a bunch of city employees to come up there and say 4 more years and give reasons why they wanted 4 more years because Mike Spano's so great. That's basically what their reasoning was for the most part, And so it appears that, it seems like, I don't know if he was connected to Reverend Margaret Coleman or, the NAACP, but that's what he said, that he's with them. He didn't say a member, I'm a member of the Yonkers NAACP, but he's not there as a representative of Yonkers NAACP. He's just there as a concerned individual of the city of Yonkers, and he wants more. So they basically put someone in there, right? Like what the administration would do to kind of say, hey, go there and say, you need more information, and that they didn't give you enough information and that they need more time. You need to know more, right? So that's what they did here. That's exactly. Was that your idea, Keisha? I'm just kidding. I just thought that was funny, but that's a good tactic. It is. I mean, listen, you gotta fight fire with fire, right? Use their own strategy. I mean, I'm not mad at it. Just get someone who's better rehearsed. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, so I want to play also really another part of the meeting where they spoke about reparations. That's right. Our Yonkers City Council is speaking about reparations here for African Americans, or African Americans who are descendants of slaves, right? Which would be almost everyone. But listen to what they have to say.
I don't know if we want to put it on. A motion of the Council of the City of Yonkers to recognize the significance of S.40 to establish the Commission to study and develop reparations for African American descendants of slavery. And I don't know if we want to put it on. Okay, so the sponsor of the legislation would like to put it on the agenda for next week's council meeting. Yes, sir.
Again, I would like to have a roll call on this because I think it should be going into a committee so we can have a little bit of a discussion before it. That's my opinion. And if we don't, again, I could be overridden on the issue on a roll call, but I would like to have more information before we move forward.
Aranti messed up here.
Mr. Deputy Clerk, can you please conduct a roll call on whether we add item number 9 onto the agenda or send it to committee?
Councilmember Moranti.
To committee.
Yes. What's the
So
yes?
It was whether we add it to the agenda. So
No.
yes or no to
No.
the agenda?
No.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Call my name.
A little eager. You expecting some change, John?
Jump in the gun.
They didn't even call John's name.
Minority Leader Breen is absent. Majority Whip Rubo.
Yes.
Majority Leader Diaz.
Yes.
Councilmember Pineda Isaac.
Yes.
Councilmember Williams.
Yes.
Council President Collins Bellamy.
Yes.
Carries 5-1.
Thank you. With one absent. Okay, so
So they voted to put that on the agenda, resolution number 9, to recognize the significance of S.40 to establish the commission to study and develop reparations for descendants of African American slaves. Moranti, you messed up. You messed up, Moranti. You are a mayoral candidate and you voted not to put this on the agenda. That was a bad move. They're going to use that against you. They're going to call you a racist. You're a racist, Moranti. See how that works? You're a racist. You don't want to give black people reparations? You're a racist. And now, listen, this is smoke and mirrors, okay? It's African-American History Month, right? Which I think is silly. I think, why do we, are we just, putting it all in one month? That's it. It's just, that's the only time we'd recognize African-American history. I think that's silly. I think, like anyone else's history or any other groups, we should recognize it all year round. It should be discussed, right? So I think that's silly. But this is just smoke and mirrors, right? There's elections coming up. The mayor's pushing his luck with this 4th term. A lot of people now are speaking out against the mayor. A lot of, pages, my podcast is putting a lot of information out there. You have Reverend Margaret Coleman. She's running against him. She's obviously a black woman, African-American. Her husband is the president of the NAACP here in Yonkers. So he's got to get black folks on his side somehow. This is what it's all about, right? Getting some black folks on his side. But all they're putting on the agenda is to recognize the significance of S.40 to establish the commission and to study and develop reparations. But it's not going to go any further after this election. It's going to be forgotten about, and that's it, right? They're going to talk about it. They're going to try to look good, like they're really trying to do something for black people. But they're not. Because if they really wanted to do something for black people, they would improve the schools. Yeah, how about that? Improve the quality of the school district and improve the quality of the education that the black people, the Hispanic people, the white people, any people get here in the city of Yonkers. But if you want to talk about specifically blacks, then yes, improve the school, the education. Education is key, right? That increases the likelihood that they will break the cycle of poverty. You know that black people, that group that's largely impoverished here in the city of Yonkers due to, an administration that practices nepotism, creates inequalities, economic inequalities, housing inequalities. Although I thought we were done with that. But I guess not. If you really want to help black people, you should have passed that affordable housing ordinance. But you have not. You failed them. You flip-flopped on the affordable housing ordinance in 2021. If you cared about black people, you would provide somehow jobs here. You would have negotiated jobs from these developers, real jobs, real training. How about that? Yeah, really train them. Maybe they won't get jobs on these developments going up, but you got to provide them jobs so down the line, they can be part of a development and get a job doing so, right? But instead, you focus on all the developers' needs, which they do in this meeting also. After this, they start, approving these zoning law changes all over Yonkers as they've been doing because the developers want that and need that in order to do their developments and make a lot of money. And what is that ultimately doing? Pushing black people out. Yeah. But at least they're, putting this on the agenda for reparations. At least they got a black city council president. Ain't that amazing? That's helped my wife and kids out greatly. You know, they're African American. That's why I say that. Truly, what have they done for black people here in the city of Yonkers? Nothing. That's a slap in the face of me. That's some BS. Don't play no games with people like that. Lying to them. Trying to give them some hope that you're going to do something nice for a change. What are you going to do? What are you actually going to do? Why don't you just pass a housing ordinance so they can, be able to find affordable housing along with everyone else who needs it? How about you work hard to improve the quality of the educational system here so our youth of all colors can get an education that will benefit them, truly benefit them. And so they can break the cycle of poverty. Because as someone who has broken the cycle of poverty, I will tell you, education is key. And you know what else is key? Networking. Knowing people. Not with the devil. I don't network with the devil, which is why, with some of you. And I'll just be honest, I'm a spiritual man, very spiritual. And not all money is good money. But networking with the right people, and how do they do that? How do they do that when they're limited? In every single opportunity, access to people, access to education, access to jobs, and I mean good education, I meant to say, not any education, right? So you guys don't truly care about black folks here. And I'm not trying to make this about race, but they're doing this silly thing. And where is Vinny? Where is Leisure Suit Vinny? Where is Leisure Suit Vinny during this meeting? And Wilford Brimley, which is Mike Breen. Does he bother attending any city council meetings? Vinny Spano makes $183,000 a year as the last salary list. And I don't see him. That's a lot of money. That money could be used to improving the educational system, that I was just talking about. Mike Ramadelli is the one there most of the time. That's nepotism for you right there. And you should be mad. You should be upset because it's ultimately your taxpayer money, your tax money that you work hard for, that you actually have to show up to your job for, that they take. You go to work, they take it, give it to this dude. He's not even at work. That doesn't bother you? That should bother you. That should really bother you. And so it's time to vote people out. Folks, I want to also, really quick, before I get off, talk about YPD, Yonkers police officers. It's not going well. All right, it's not going well. Actually, you know what? Did I finish showing all that? Yeah, I did. It's not going well. I'm getting from sources, which is why I came on a little later, about an incident where a YPD officer was hit in the head with a bottle. Anyone hear about that? YPD officer hit in the head with a bottle last week. Not sure exactly what happened. I'm still waiting to get more details from my source. But apparently, from what I'm hearing so far, a YPD officer is hit in the head with a bottle. His partner, a female officer, gave her taser to another cop who didn't have a taser and then tried to leave the scene. So I'm working on getting more details on that situation, on that incident. But that's all I have so far. It's very strange, but I just want to say this, again, just like with that video I just played of the city council members and, talks of reparations for descendants of slaves, right, to appease black folks and get them to, oh, yeah, that's great. You guys are amazing, right, when they know that they're not going to do anything. It's the same with the police. They utilize the people's love for the police, right? Because the citizens, many people, right, for the I know that we say people don't like the police, but a lot of people here in Yonkers love the police, okay? if anywhere else, at least Yonkers, people love the police here, right? A lot of people love the cops and they support the cops. And I'm not saying anything wrong with that. What I'm saying is that because of that, our elected officials utilize that to gain your trust, gain your vote. They'll get the endorsement of the YPD, right? It's like, oh, look, I got YPD endorsement. The police support me, so I must be the candidate that you should vote for. But we know that's not always really the case, and why many times they are endorsing these candidates. Like the time that they all flip-flopped on Mike Cater, took their endorsements away, and then gave it to Lakeisha Collins Bellamy. Did the Yonkers Police Department know anything about Bellamy? Did the YPB Yonkers PBA know anything about Bellamy? Why did they take their endorsement away, or why did they endorse Lakeisha Collins Bellamy over Mike Cater, who they had endorsed? Because they were told to, because the Y or the Yonkers PBA plays the game of politics. And they have to do as they're told. They want to get some things, they got to give some things. And so the administration has utilized that and leveraged that for quite some time now. But they don't really care about you guys. They really don't. They absolutely don't. I hope that you officers in the uniform here in the city of Yonkers, men and women, have learned that from watching the podcast on Friday nights with Anthony DiMaggio. They'll send you to the shrink when they don't want you anymore. If it doesn't benefit them or look good for them, unless you're a made individual, right, they'll throw you under the bus. If you're a made guy, you can get away with anything. You could be found in your car, slumped over from an overdose because you were using prescription pain pills, and still keep your job. And no one really know about it. You can beat your wife, and they'll come to your home, and they'll let you cool down. They'll make your wife leave. True story. But the cop won't go to jail, won't even be reported because they're a made person. But if you're not, and they find an opportunity to throw you under the bus, they will. As in the case of Officer Amy Kielb, the female sergeant who showed up on the scene when there was a fight going on between three individuals, two of them brothers, who were beating on another guy, very big men. And it appeared that she didn't do much, right? She didn't intervene. I don't know. I'll see it too, and I'm trying to understand. But I know that with police officers these days, you're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't. And I thought about this. Had she shot one of the guys, she would have been wrong for that. She'd have been wrong for shooting them. And I don't know if she was carrying a taser. I'm not sure. Maybe if someone knows, they can let me know. But I didn't see it. Maybe you can see it on the video. But I hear that sometimes officers don't have tasers, as in the information I'm getting about the incident with the bottle, where one officer gave her taser to another officer who didn't have one. And so if she didn't have a taser and she hears, police coming, backup is on his way, maybe she did the right thing, because the only other option would be either, hey, try to be physical with them, which that was not going to work out too well for her, or she could have shot them. And mace doesn't always work. And mace, sometimes certain individuals just agitates them even more and they go even crazier. So none of us, especially police or people who have not been police officers, can really Monday morning quarterback this. One thing, though, I can say is that she is not receiving the same support that some would. And why is that? After the incident, the mayor spoke negatively about her. The commissioner said he didn't like what he saw on the video, and she was put on modified desk duty. Is that the right thing to do? Was that the proper thing to do? Is that protocol? Would that have happened to any police officer in that situation? Or was it just Officer Amy Kielb? I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. Does it have anything to do with who her dad is?
Yonkers police sergeant has been placed on modified duty after a controversial video shows what she did after coming across several men fighting in the street. Surveillance video shows Sergeant
There was no audio? Could you not hear the audio? I'm sorry. If you didn't hear the audio, I was wanting to show the video more so than anything else of the attack. Right? Can you hear it? I mean, these guys are big. She gets out the car, and look. Here's another thing. Oh, you didn't hear? Here's another thing. I just thought about this. She's getting out this car as if this is something that happens all the time in this area because of these bars. And I spoke about this on the podcast the other night. And when I spoke to the father of CJ Hackett's friend who was there with him the night he was killed, and I asked him about the bars. The bars have not been named or mentioned, but there are a lot of fights and a lot of problems, stabbings, beatings, people driving drunk from these same bars on McLean or near the area. So she's getting out the car like as if this is another fight, another, group of guys who have gotten too drunk and are now just beating each other senseless. We're told not to make a big deal out of this because of these bars that they're protected. So, all right, guys, come on, not this again. I'm just saying, could that be the reason? I mean, I don't know. Again, so maybe she was waiting for backup. Maybe she was waiting for backup to arrive. She felt safer. This is something that happens a lot in this area with these bars. I don't know. And look, she could be totally wrong. I'm not an expert. I just, know that, from what I'm hearing, that a lot of this is probably retaliation because of who her father is. And I don't know if her father is this guy, George Kielb, says commissioner at Yonkers Police Department. Is that, anybody know about that? It says George Kielb, commissioner at Yonkers Police Department. 2014 to 2021, is that true? Or maybe that's when he worked there? Oh, fire department commissioner? I guess they got it wrong here. Kielbasa. Is that her last name, Kielbasa? Somebody told me to look up her father. They said, the retaliation could be because, her father, who her father is. I'm not sure, and I'll be looking into that some more to try to see if I can get some more details on that. But maybe. Is it Kielbasa? You can't even tell when he says her last name in the news thing. It sounds like he says B, not even Cube, right? You meant to per cube. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I saw that there. Maybe they messed up there. I don't know what the issue is there. I'm going to look into it, ask some more questions, ask around, reach out to some people that I know now. I got a lot of different contacts and see what the deal is there. Why is, where's there some beef there? What's the beef? Where's the beef? Right? What's the beef with her and her father in this administration? Is it because if is he a fire commissioner? Was fire commissioner? Was it because he didn't want to, allow certain, individuals onto the fire department because, he knew it was all about nepotism? I don't know. Seems like, the fire and the administration, the fire department kind of have a little beef, right? Because, I was talking to somebody today and I said the fire department is not really, and I could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like they're a lot of corruption, right? There's a lot of things with the police department. Not that I'm saying that's not, whatever, but it doesn't seem to be as much, controversy or, scandals with the fire department, right? Unless it's some outside source that's impacting them, right? But it's not usually coming from within. But I could be wrong. And if there is, let me know. I know. And I've gotten a lot of stuff, and I'll just be straight up on Barry McGooey, right? They said, why don't you look into Barry McGooey? He did it. And look, Barry McGooey, is he around anymore? I mean, in the fire department, is he? No, right? He's retired. Yeah, he probably got a good retirement. They say, oh, look at the retirement he got, right? I'm sure. But he was not the problem. He's not the one that people are constantly talking about or telling me about or giving me information about. I've never heard negative things about McGooey and him, him doing something, I should say, negative to somebody, taking away their career. Right? I've never heard anything of that effect. I've seen him fight for his union. I've seen him take his union to a Spano event over there at the Castle Royale, and I love that. I thought that was dope, Barry. That's some balls, right? Like they say. I like that. I don't know much about what was going on about that time, but shoot, he had the whole fire department over there, damn near. We're going to ruin your event, Spano. And that's how you get it done. And if he squeezed some money for him in his retirement, so be it. He was a soldier. He deserved it. He wasn't scared. I'm just saying. And I don't know the guy. It's no reason. I'm just saying. Barry was one of the best that did the best for his members. See, there you go. And I can tell. And I don't know him. Never met him. Never spoke to him. But he looked like he was a fighter. And when I saw that video of the union, the guys over there at the Castle Royale that night when the Spano event was going on, and they went and got one of those big searchlight things and everything and put it out in the front. Man, they spare no expense, huh? Taxpayers pay for that? Did we get you that spotlight? Time we come out and vote. So, I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to look into it. So I just wanted to put that out there just to show some unity and support for, Sergeant Amy Kilb. At the end of the day, you're being more talked about as, you're the bad person and you're wrong than the guys who were doing this, the criminals. And that's not okay. And that's just, I want all those in uniform to see that, right? To see that. You have to watch your back out there. These people at the top, they use you. Everybody's a pawn to them. Everybody. And don't let them use you to do something illegal. Because I've heard stories of things that have been done by police officers, but because they were told to by elected officials. And maybe they know or don't know if that's illegal or not. But there's this culture of just do as you're told because you don't want to lose your job. It's a good job. You don't want to lose it. And so individuals will do certain things that, maybe unethical at the very least, but could be quite possibly illegal, like taking your dog, sniffing your canine dog, police officer, and going up and down a residential street and going up people's driveways and letting the canine dog sniff cars and sniff people's garage doors. I don't care what kind of training you think you're doing. That's illegal. That's private property. You can't just go onto someone's property with a dog and do a training on my street. That was bullshit. That was totally bullshit. I don't know if they were trying to intimidate me. I don't know if they were trying to look for someone. I don't know if maybe someone in my neighborhood has drugs or something that they're trying to, I don't know. I don't know. But that's not okay. You trespassing. What if a child ran out, dog bit him, or another pet, someone's pet ran out? My dog sometimes will come out the yard. He doesn't attack people or anything, but I don't know how he'll be with a canine dog, a police canine dog. They're trained to attack. And I didn't appreciate the officer, stand there and say, back him down, boy, when I asked him about the training. What does back him down, boy, mean? To the tall white officer who had the canine on my street. That's not cool, YPD, because I always support you guys, and a lot of people in the city support you guys. We are not your enemy. The people that you work for are. So, and again, I have a lot of respect for police officers. I have no problems with any police officers. Never have, always given respect. And I've gotten respect, for the most part. I never had an issue with police officers being disrespectful or anything like that. But, we know what happens. We know that's, look, I've had business owners tell me like Tasha Diaz has had police officers go to their business and harass them, give their customers tickets, give them tickets. That's not how you're supposed to, use our police department, Tasha Diaz, because your daughter had a problem with the owner of the business. It's not okay. Yeah, you could beat somebody up and they won't arrest you, Tasha. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Maybe you should take that canine sniffing dog and walk up and down City Hall. Go up all the floors. Do a surprise visit. You may just find something. Wouldn't put it past her. Right? And so that's not cool. And so, things like that are not okay. And you never know who could be your boss one day, guys. The Spanos ain't going to be in office forever. And as you see, it's growing. The opposition is growing. People are obviously tired of it. People obviously did not want a fourth term, which is why they didn't put it for a referendum. They knew we would say hell to the no. And so, you guys got to chill because you never know what could happen down the line. Lose your job, go to jail, get sued. So be careful. Because I've heard some stories. Now, I've got some videos of some of you guys doing things you shouldn't be doing. And I'm not just talking about police officers. I'm talking about city employees. I'm waiting. When should I release those? What do you think, guys? When should I release those videos? It'll blow your mind. Right? How are these people still employed? Some of you guys are out there getting drunk, shit-faced drunk in city vehicles, driving home, hour-long drives, wobbling out the bar into your city vehicle. It's a no-no. That's a no-no. But what's crazy is that supervisors know. Well, some of these are supervisors, but they're supervisors, no? Tom T, your son, no? It's time for these guys to go, Yonkers. We must come out and vote these people out. This is A must. This is enough. It's unbelievable what happens. The gross disregard for human life. Because when you get behind the wheel, shit-faced drunk, you have a high probability of killing somebody. Somebody that is minding their own fucking business, trying to get home. And so at that point, when you make that decision, that's when you stop being a good guy. And now you have turned into a killer on the hunt for an innocent victim. And so many employees here in the city of Yonkers do that. Drunk and high on cocaine in city vehicles. That's what our taxpayer money pays for. What have you gotten from this panel that can truly say, this man is amazing? He needs another 4 years. What? What? Change my mind. Please. And so who will you vote for? Spano again? Or are you going to vote for change? Are you going to vote to better this city? I mean, it's almost hard to have pride in Yonkers because of what happens here. They are a shame on the city. They are a stain on this city. And eventually that will be clearly, known and talked about. And all the people here, the council people that are, there now will be part of the shameful history. You will. Tasha Diaz, that video, I got it. It will be up there forever, girlfriend. That's right. That will never go away. Your shameful behavior. The way you embarrass the city of Yonkers will always be there forever. And until we come out and vote these people out, we will be an embarrassment forever. I'm Freddy Vazquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you, folks. Please come out and vote. It's a must. I mean, this corruption has got to end. It's really, it's unbelievable. It's really bad. I mean, really, really, really bad. Really, really, really bad. I mean, it's horrible. I know a lot of things that you guys still don't even know about that truly make this a real life movie. I mean, they say, fiction is, what is that saying is, I don't know what the saying, I forget, right? That's true, right? No, fiction is stranger than, or something like that, reality is stranger, I don't know. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Can't even make this up in a movie, some of the things that go on here, from sex in the mayor's office, doing lines in City Hall, gambling in City Hall, cops passed out in squad cars, OD'd, DPW employees committing armed robbery on well-known establishments. It's crazy. Truth is stranger than fiction. There you go. Thank you. I feel it escaped me for whatever reason. And we put Mike Hanley's ass in motion on that Sergeant Kilb situation, didn't we, Freddy? Well, I hope so. I hope we did. That's the goal, to light a fire in the individuals and get things moving. And that's why I want to speak about it also, even though I'm still getting some of the details, because I want to put them on notice. We know we're getting more information. Folks, if you work in the city of Yonkers, if you are connected, if you have information, give it to me. Give it to me. Continue to do so. If you haven't, start doing so. Here's your revenge. You've ever, been disrespected? Have they ever talked down to you, treated you as a peasant, less than? Has Sam Borelli spoken to you in a disrespectful manner up in the building department, ladies? Give me the information. I promise you, I will never tell you or say where it comes from. Never. I only expose those individuals, not my sources. Never. Don't let them fool you. I put Vinny Spano's text up because he's one of them. And I was setting him up from the whole time. He probably knew that. Maybe. I don't need friends like that. Don't have many friends now, except for you all people who watch my show. You all my friends, right? So give me the information. Send it to me. politicwithfred@gmail.com. politicwithfred@gmail.com. And let that be another example for you officers out there, what this sergeant is going through. There are cops who have done worse. Even if she is wrong for that, let's just say there are cops that have done worse, and have gotten away with it, while others have done absolutely nothing and have had their careers taken from them. Careers they've worked hard for, like it's nothing, because they can do that. They have that power, and you ain't nobody. Yeah, that's their attitude. Don't let the smiles fool you. That's how they really feel. Most of you are beneath them, especially because they're very insecure individuals, so they have to put people down in order to feel good about themselves. So they do it constantly. I mean, if you don't have much degree or any degrees or any education, real skills, experience, or your entire career has been given to you because of nepotism, you still suck at your job, don't do a good job, nothing about you says great and amazing, except the lie that they create and live in. I've heard them talk about people. That's truly how they feel about many people here in the city of Yonkers, and it's time for them to go. I'm Freddy Vazquez. I'm up out here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great night, and I'll see you Thursday and Friday. Don't forget, Anthony DiMaggio will be on with me. Police officers all around the country, check us out on Fridays. Former Yonkers Police Lieutenant Anthony DiMaggio, flawless record. The man got a perfect score on the lieutenant's test. Yet and still, his career was taken away from him. So it doesn't matter if you have an impeccable record, if you do an amazing job, because nepotism is all about the underqualified succeeding. Sillies.
Ready with fatality.
Hey, Z-Man. I think Zahi Jarris joined us yesterday, Mr. Z-Man. It's not just me. You can take me out, but the ball is already in motion. It's already rolling. And it was a strategy to make sure it's not just one person. So they take one out, another one will come in and fulfill the plan to remove the corruption that has plagued the city of Yonkers for far too long. I'm tired of it. I'm ready for it to end. I'm Freddy Vazquez. Peace out. Have a good night. Thank you. Good night. I appreciate you. I really do. I really do. I'm here for you. Reach out to me, 914-228-2894. Text me. I'll get back to you, but text me or email me, politicwithfred@gmail.com, politicwithfred@gmail.com. Some things coming up soon. Some exciting news.
Freddy with fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez.
Who's ready?
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
Ready for Freddy? Let's go.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddy Vazquez.
Freddy wins.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. I know how the fuck you think you are.
Listen, I know you, Lieutenant. So if you have a problem with the detectives, you call Detective Sergeant. If you have a problem with that, you call Detective Lieutenant. I know who the fuck you think you are. If you want to play this game, you're gonna lose it. I'll tell you right now. So who the fuck you think you are?
We're gonna leave it where it is. Let's vote on this. Let's get it popping.
Listen, I know who the fuck you think you are.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want some of the butter chicken. So thank you.
But I am the bad guy.
I'm hoping that this is not true, Sammy. Let's get it
You're
popping.
watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
I'm hoping that this is not true, Sammy. But I'm a councilwoman, so the capacity that I know you in, they may know you in a different capacity. But I'm a councilwoman, so the capacity that I know you in, they may know you in a different capacity.
Game over. Freddy wins. Fatality.
Benefit him, because he doesn't cover. He only talks trash. So that we are my competition, the guy who always talks about me and say, awful things about me, he will not have a problem, guys.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
No! No!